Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back. This is, of course, the MRC show that never ends. And we're here. This is your Wednesday night entertainment. Why would you go anywhere else, of course? We're here for Tier 3 in the land of the rising sun, of course, with the Suzuka circuit here in Japan in a beautiful, sunny qualifying session we have ahead of us. Are we going to see that in the race? Well, keep your eyes peeled, folks, and we will find out in 18 minutes' time. But before we get into qualifying, as nobody seems to be leaving the pits in a hurry, there is Alfa Romeo go out as we speak. It is an absolute pleasure to introduce my co-commentator for the evening, the man who's one of the old boys, if you like, of MRC. Not calling him old, but he's one of the old boys. He's been with us a long time. Took a little bit of a hiatus, but he's back with us, racing very well, I must admit. And in the commentary team, he's the other half of the original T-side twosome, which could only mean one man. It's Mr. Morgan Stubbs. Good evening, my friend.
Good evening, Mark. How are we doing today?
Very well, my man. Very, very well. Yourself?
Yeah, not all good.
Good. Well, a bit drier than we saw on Tier 2, especially on Monday, so far. Who's your eye on that you're looking for this evening?
Well, straight off the bat, I see RFC Danny's picked a set of Inters, so clearly he might know something that everybody else on the grid isn't.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I've heard of, some people go out, we've got a few reserves in, monsters in, we've got single track as well. See them go out on mediums and hard tyres, which, of course, they can't qualify on anything more than that. Inters is normally Ant's trick.
Yeah.
Fairness.
Well, we see Lost Infinity going straight for it early on because he's going to be our first person to go for a flying lap. Straight out there on the softs, no messing about.
No, and it's one of those that this track we found this week that really, really ramps up as well during this course of qualifying. So the grip it's going to be interesting. He's got a bit of a gap. He's got the AlphaTauri coming out. I'm sure will not cause him any problems. It doesn't. Takes quite a bit of curve into turn one, I noticed there. Normally that's one you sort of miss, really. But an interesting line.
It's definitely a braver move, usually these curves can just throw you into a wall.
Certainly can't. You don't even need to hit a curb around here. It's one of those tracks, isn't it? It's such a technical circuit that you feel like you should be running low downforce, but you can't. It is actually quite a high downforce circuit, this one.
To be fair, I felt like with quite a few tracks that we've seen, like this on this game especially, that the higher downforce definitely seems to reward you with a lot more lap time than going for the lower downforce setups. Yeah, you're right there. Definitely. I think Sambal has turned his ERS off. He's bailed on his lap. We saw Lost Infinity invalidate his lap. And you're right, yeah, this one especially, if you've got a bit higher downforce, that first sector is so rewarding. Even the middle sector is really rewarding. It's when you start getting to that run towards 130R and to the end of the lap that it really can hamper you, can't it? Yeah, I mean, like we saw in the actual Japanese Grand Prix, you saw a lot of the teams just play it off to see where the car's going to perform the best. I mean, the Red Bull's obviously doing what the Red Bull does. It seems to be just a all-round performance, but you saw a lot of people struggling in the S's and a lot of people obviously trying to make up time in the corners. Just have to see what everybody's decided to do tonight. Seen a lot of people just building absolute straight line missiles this season, so...
Yeah, we really have, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Martin's wondering, he's having a senior moment. Mate, you can't qualify on the softs. You normally like to go on the hard tyres anyway. You like to go hard to soft. But yeah, hards or a bit medium in the middle. Not quite floppy loppy style, but floppy enough.
We've got Mutz Nuts setting the best time on the 129 there.
He has a good opener that actually. Smith just behind him on a 29.8. What can the bottle job does a 29.7 on the mediums? That's a good lap from Connor.
I mean, it straight is, especially when the other people around him have done similar times on the soft tyres, so obviously Connor's holding back a bit of pace there.
Oh, what happened to Simon? Oh, no. Baby Hornet. I think lost it at the end of the S's. He did. Looking at the map. Oh.
I didn't have to ride on board with him to curse him this time.
And you were really set up for that as well.
We've got a whole race to go yet. Aldrich Fabian going in with a 28.6.
Wow, that is a quick, very quick lap. I think that's competitive in the Tier 1, I do believe. I think... Was Tier 2 about a 28 dead, I think? As Airways. Wow! Oh, no, Winky as well has managed to somehow connect with TY Clear and retire him. Wow.
I'm not quite sure where we'll find someone that can get us near wherever that incident is.
I can't see it on the map, so it looked like it's gone pretty quickly.
Well, it's too early retirements now.
Yeah.
Maybe Danny on those inters could actually, not start last, who knows?
Well, that's it. I think, yeah. I mean, I wonder, I didn't get a chance to see if anyone had qualifying bans as well. So that could be why, if Danny did have it, that, if he does, that's why he's just saving the tyres for the race, going out, doing an outlap, make sure his setup's okay, and which it won't be on the inters. But it's going to be an interesting one to see how Danny, and we know how quick he's been this season. A bit unlucky at different times, but how quick he's been throughout the season. So see if he can come through the field. We're looking at our on an outlap. Oh, I'll tell you what we're going to look at. The man who likes to go hard or go home. He's in the beautiful Aston Martin. He's finally chosen a good car for a change. It's taken him a while. But he's gone green, Mr. Single Track, and on the hard tyres, and he's set a purple first sector. I think that's just for people around him, though, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do around the lap. And to be fair, he has been mighty quick in the practice sessions. Got a bit unlucky, I think, with the rain and pit stops. That
Martin must feel really out of place in that car. He usually lives in a papaya.
Well, he used to, didn't he? In the early days, he did, and it used to drive me insane. I wanted to swap teams and go papaya, and I couldn't because he always had it. And it took me a number of seasons for me to actually get the papaya car. But now he's gone blue and pink. And that's his new love. He likes all things Francais. A lover of the... Actually, I'm not even going to go down that route. I'm just not. It's too early for that. To be fair, pops it in 6th as well.
So 29s on hards, it's a pretty good lap.
It's a very, very good lap. Yeah, don't know how he's managed that. That's just some serious pace. Let's have Avinash going through the second sector. So...
We've got Wookie as well, warming up in the blue and pink Alpine.
That's going to be an interesting one. See what Wookie can do, and I tell you what we're going to do. Unfortunately, Avinash, we're going to cut away from him because Wookie's just starting his lap, so let's take an on-board lap of this Fast and Furious. He also takes the inside line, doesn't go as wide to take turn 2 as many others, but gets the power down through this fantastic uphill sweeping. Misses the apex slightly, though. Going to hamper him through the next couple of corners. Takes that one in 6. Has to lift off the throttle quite a lot. It keeps up in 6. Up Dunlop curves. The Haas is spun ahead of him. Doesn't put him off though. And then into the Degner corners. Doesn't take as much curb on the first part and down to 4th. Tries to get the power down nice. He doesn't run wide through the second part of Degner. Treacherous corner. Well, it has been for me this week. It's been a horrible corner. Through the hairpin, which is actually called hairpin, gets the power down nicely. And the long bumpy straight, it's a difficult one to pick the right line through here. You go too wide, you're dirt, and it's a very, very bumpy into the spoon corner. Doesn't go too wide, keeps it in 5th, has to take a few stabs at the steering wheel before it gets the power down. And along this very, very bumpy part of the track, which goes over the other part of the circuit through the end of sector 1, through flat out at 130. Misses the apex slightly. Don't want to scrub too much speed. Brakes late about the 100 metre board. keeps it in second. Wow, very brave to take the exit curve. Can easily lose the rear. Wow, nearly hit the pit wall as well. Takes a short run to the line and goes fifth with that.
Oh, that was a roller coaster roll out there.
That wasn't it? I can't help it. I'm not going to disrespect any driver, but I think there's a lot more in that lap. I think he's got a good 6 tenths, if not more, in that lap. I think as Wookie.
Bold claim. Aldrich Fabian's coming out for another stab.
Yep. Once I can't pick the hard tyres, that'll be because of your tyre selection, my friend. You'll have picked maybe balanced, and you'll have the medium for qualifying with a couple of sets of softs, and then the hard tyre will be reserved for the race. That'll be why that you are only able to use the mediums in qualifying. Martin's gone for another lap, I think. Understandable on the hards, they'll do it. What can Jay Moore do? 10th with that lap. Who say you've seen there, my friend?
Currently on board with Martin. I've seen how his next hard lap was going. I think he must be on a bit of a warm-up lap. He's just come out of spoon and he's only on 1 minute 30.
Yeah, he's got 100% on his... well, to be fair, I think he's run out of fuel. His fuel's flashing. So
interesting. Someone go sideways into a wall. That was Lost Infinity.
Oh, no. That'll be outside of turn 1. That's quite easy to do, actually, isn't it? If you run that little bit wide through there. A lot of these curbs are very unforgiving. And it is a very I think it's a bumpier circuit it's ever been on any F1 game.
I just think it's been really accentuated by these ground effect cars, the bumpier tracks. They're definitely the sort of track where you need to get your ride height right. Like we said earlier, you definitely need a bit more downforce on these cars, which is weird, seeing as you'd think that most of it would come from the floor, but obviously they've been tweaking all the physics and stuff in this game, so I think it's probably still needs a little bit of work.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, actually. Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, everyone does tend to favour a few of the higher wings, unless you're kind of Chris Bailey, who doesn't at all. Yeah, you're right. And look at that! Wow,
27.8 from Aldrich Fabian, laying the gauntlet down.
I'm trying to think where I was in Tier 1. I think I was about 11th, 12th. I couldn't do... That's the top 10 Tier 1 time from Aldrich Fabian. And that 29.0 as well for Mutts Nuts, and we know how quick that guy is. It does a 29.0 and still only third. That's scary time from Fabian.
Yeah, we've got Airways is just starting his next flying lap on a new set of softs.
Ooh, wrong way by accident. There he is. So let's see what this man can improve. Ferrari's looking good, 4th and 5th currently, then the Aston's 8th and 9th. And we've got Antox leaving the pits. Monza isn't yet, he's only going to do one run later on in the session, and that was an Aston Martin.
Spun on the grass.
I think that was
single track.
Yeah, he's gone onto the mediums this time around. That's not going to help his preparations.
Just riding on board when there's a random tyre sat in the middle of the track going up the hill.
That drives you insane on this game, because sometimes it shows it and then someone says, oh no, it's not even there. But it really puts you off, doesn't it? It's a little thing that just think, why? Why?
The thing that always scares me in this game is when somebody spins in front of you and you just don't know whether the game's actually going to ghost them or not.
Yeah.
You just see an incident and you just keep driving and thinking, oh, this is either going to end one way or the other.
Yeah, you start to do avoidance, don't you? You start to try to move out the way, but not too much to hamper yourself, but you're so scared, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tell you what, here we're 7 tenths up on his lap. This could really, really challenge Fabian for provisional pole. Gets a good exit from Casio Triangle and does it! Wow!
This is a tight battle for pole here.
That's incredible, those two. Avinash is also up on his lap time. Currently sat in 4th. The challenge potentially Mutts who's in the pits. Time for one more run. It'll be interesting to see what Monson can do when he leaves the pits and what Single Track can do on his medium tyres as well. What can Avinash do? And he does go third, just about by 1600ths of a second ahead of Mutsnuts, who is still in the pits, hasn't left just yet. I'm sure he will very soon. With
some close margins at the top there.
Really
400ths of a second for first to second, 100th of a second between third and fourth.
That's crazy. A few little gaps, but Jamie and Connell separated by just under, what was that, 2.5 hundredths as well. And then Single Track as well, just behind that. So that's another tight one. Biff only a couple of tenths further back in 11th currently. There's a lot, like you said, a lot of tight gaps going on. And we found that in the other tiers as well this week, that even though it's a long lap as such, a 1 minute 30-ish lap, especially in race pace, how close the margins can be around here.
I think we're in for another shocker, because I've just seen how far up Martin is on this lap as well.
Yeah, going out the Casio triangle, what can he do?
These are just some mental lap times coming in today.
I mean, said he was quick, but wow.
He's throwing all those sandbags out of that Aston Martin.
He has. I must have left them in on Monday when I hit the wall. Just throwing the barrier out.
Must have been taking some cues from the real team, because they threw some sandbags out for Brazil.
They didn't adjust. Which is great to see, because it was going to be one of those, that could have been one of the best seasons, if you like, the best comebacks we've seen in Formula 1 in recent years, and just didn't really work. Yes, you can, Andrew. Yes, you can. Luckily, you're on an outlap. But yeah, it's one. I think. Well, they've said a few times that their development curve went the complete wrong way. Nothing that they saw in the wind tunnel correlated with everything on track, and I mean, it got to a stage where they couldn't get out of Q1.
Yeah, but at least I have more faith in the Aston Martin team now than the Mercedes team. At least you've, understood the car and got somewhere, but...
Oh, Winky! Oh, and he's lost it up Dunlop. He got wide and then lost, and he's lost his wing.
There's that tyre again.
That's the one. He's now got a wing to join it. Unfortunately for Winky, what can Monster do following suit? Hopefully Winky sees him coming. But you're right.
Monster in the triangle.
He certainly is. I kind of agree with you. I do like the Mercedes, obviously the British drivers, but I can't help but agree that the team is going through a full restructure. We've lost a lot of key members of the development team and the design team that is just going to hurt them. And I know they've switched to next year quite early, and hopefully... Oh no, Andrew, he's invalidated his lap, so the best, unfortunately, that Andrew's going to start is 18th this evening. Winky has that issue, and Mutsnuts is on a flyer. 4 tenths up, apparently, going through Sector 1.
Shaver was up as well, but he seems to have backed off in his lap. He was 4 tenths up coming out of Sector 2, but just slowed down going into Spoon.
Oh, that's a shame.
I reckon he could have made up to about 13th then on that lap.
Yeah, unfortunately, that McLaren for Shaver. He's done 5 laps apparently on those soft tyres. Surprising. But I'll tell you what, Mutsnuts flying so far, could easily get up. We've missed it, and I've just noticed it. Sorry, not sorry, guess of who it is. Wow, Mutsnuts! Puts him into third, ahead of the man who I didn't even realise had done his lap was the bottle job himself. Those Astons are flying. And there we are, folks. That is qualifying. Airways takes pole by the slimmest of margins, 400ths of a second from Aldrich Fabian Mutsnuts with a fantastic lap at the end. Still 7 tenths off, but pops it into third ahead of Mr. Bottle Job himself. Is Connor Hardy, and then Single Track, the boss man, in 5th, which a great lap on those mediums. Wookie in 6th. Then the Ferraris of Avinash and Smith. Lost Infinity managed to lose it, and unfortunately hit... Oh my god, I hate that view. when it kicks to that far chase cam, I can't believe when like games came out years and years ago when we were kids that we grew up and I used to use that view. I don't know how I did it.
It used to be the view to choose, didn't it? In like the old arcade race games, like Need for Speed, you just sit there right on the back wing, like, oh yeah, this is good. This.
You did, didn't you? You did, and then you could see, that was the one to drift it, and you could see the tire smoke, and you thought, yeah, this is the best racing games get. And now you look up, we've got a complete loss where I was at, but we'll start with Lost Infinity. Oh, this is going to go well tonight. Lost Infinity in 9th. Jim Moore is American compadre in 10th. Biff in 11th. Willy Winkle in 12th. Sam Ball in 13th. Smiley Ghost 14th. Winky does have a 5-place penalty, of course, as well to serve. So we'll go through the grid in the formation lap because, we're clowning around, which you can expect that from us, in fairness.
Yeah, it's the best time for it.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's been a while since we've done this, so we've got to make up for lost time.
I know. I'm feeling a bit rusty and out to practice for comms. I actually can't remember the last race I did comms
on. No, I'm not sure either, actually. But unfortunately, sometimes life does take over. Luckily, it looks like we have a very bright and sunny Japanese Grand Prix for you this evening. Be interesting to see if there is a threat of rain. Mr. Dennison, go away. That is not even funny. That you said we've improved from sitting on the rear wing to sitting on the sunroof instead. Just because he's Mr. Cockpit Capman,
I'm with him, to be fair. I use the cockpit cam.
It's my next thing to go to, in fairness.
My last thing to turn off is ABS.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no chance. So there we are, the grid. We mentioned the top 10 of Lost Infinity, Jamie, then we had Biff in 11th. Sandbars moved up to 12th. Smoggy goes 13th. Shaver, we're going to have to give him a new nickname. Definitely getting a new nickname for Shaver.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward, yeah, I like that actually. I was going to go with Gillette, the best a man can get.
That's definitely shorter.
What was the other one? What was the other? Wilkinson Sword, that was the other one. That's the other one I was thinking of. Baby Hornet in 15th, then the two Red Bulls of Ty Clear and Wheat Willy Winkle. Then the two Mercedes of Monson and Antox and RC Danny in 20th. Let's have a look at the tyre strategies. Wow, the top 7 on mediums. Smith, Lost in Infinity, only one on the hards, then a number of drivers on the softs, then a few more medium drivers. Antox is on the softs and RC Danny on the mediums. Good mix, actually, that. And it's going to be interesting to see what the softs do off the start.
Yeah, it's a good mix of strategies. Obviously, Lost Infinity playing the long game there on the hards. I tried that one in X on Friday, but those hards don't play nice off the line, to be fair.
Yeah, I tried that as well, and I kind of got them working. I think I started about 11th, and after virtual safety cars, etc., found myself up in 3rd. Not sure how. And then it all went to pot. Standard. But they felt okay once they got going. It was just difficult through the first sector. The front didn't grip as well. But if he's in traffic, it may not be too bad for him.
I tell you what, I find it quite funny, obviously, going down the grid. You see like the couple of people swerving, then you just see the amount of people riding the brakes for the esports tyre warming.
Yeah, I've started to do that a little bit for it warms, I think it's the inner part of the tyre, doesn't it? And
yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, it doesn't do much at all.
It's just funny, you just like scroll through the grid, you see like the odd person swerving and everyone else is just driving in a straight line riding the brakes.
Yeah, doing the Kimi Räikkönen school of tyre warming.
Let's see if anyone can not park a car today. Oh, there we go. It's just started.
There's a couple. And I tell you what, Mud's Nuts is parked quite a way over towards the centre.
Disgraceful.
Were you on board with him?
No, I literally just seen it pop across the bottom, disqualified.
Oh, it wasn't even your fault.
Disappointed.
It is a little bit. So let's just let everything settle down. And now we've got 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And for Tier 3, Wednesday night, MRC, we go racing. And a good start from the top 2. There's cars strewn across the track, 3, 4 abreast already. But the top 2 get away very, very nicely. Much Nuts in third. Connor and his teammate, Linus Turner. I think that was it was Avanas. Gone wide in the Ferrari, dropping places, but everyone's pretty clean, I think, so far. There's a few cars side by side further back.
There's a couple of bit of contacts down the field.
Oh, that's not good. Let's have a quick look at the position changes. Jay Moore and the Alpine. What a start from him. Up 3 spots already. Avanash, we said he had a bad start, and unfortunately has dropped 7 spots. Ty Clear got a great launch as well. Ooh, who was that running a little bit wide? Maybe in one of the Alpines. Oh, who was that? That was Lost Infinity. Really went wide to the second deck and allowed Biff to come through, and he has. And this is Sambal looking at the inside of Ty Clear, and the hairpin gets the move done, but Ty Clear gets a good exit once again. And it's just to keep hold of that spot.
So it's going to start seeing what wings everybody's gone for as we come out of Spoon.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting, isn't it, to see what people can do, who closes. And it's even without DRS down there, you can close by a couple of tenths, maybe a tenth or two, usually just down there, just with the slipstream at least.
I find it quite weird though, for like some of the tracks, how short some of the DRS zones are, and there's not a DRS zone down to 130R.
I think if there was, I would be scared. I would be petrified with DRS open down through 130R. Single Track's made the move on his teammate. I think Connor made that nice and easy for Single Track. Let him get ahead. Of course, Single Track 4 plays demotion because he is a Tier 2 driver. So Connor just let the man go. And I did see a bit of battling further down. I think it was Smith battling with Jay Moore. Couldn't make the move. But Jay Moore goes wide through the final part. Is there a move on? As Smith going to get the run up the hill to Dunlop? He's not this time around. Has to follow him through. Waiting for the timings to sort themselves out.
Now between the pack, I think it's just between Monster and Winky. There seems to be a bit of a gap now in the pack.
Yeah, good point. There is.
It's a bit further back. For some reason, the map doesn't like match up with what I can see on the timing screen.
Oh, nothing's adding up. Well, Muts Nuts is plus 133. So yeah, it's not adding up at all. I can't wait for that to settle itself down. Let's get rid of those position changes now. Let's get more on the screen. All the drivers, Avanash, Sambal having a battle with Lost Infinity. Those hards not working quite yet and giving him the grip he needs. It's going to be a long, patient evening, I think, for Lost Infinity to get those hards up and running.
And now he's in with the fastest lap with a 131.3.
Yep, and now DRS is enabled. We can see the gap, and he's 1.8 second gap in 2 laps. Ooh, a bit of a twitch for Fabian as well. This is going to be oh no, Gillette has got
speed in the pit lane.
He has. That was not a close. Oh, there's so many of these we can come up with.
The best a man can get.
That was a bit. It wasn't even a close shave. It went too far. Baby Hornet fighting with Sambal gets through. He's now got 3.8 seconds. He's got to do. What happened to Jay Moore? He was doing really well. I think he's had a big moment, and he has. He's dropping places. Hand over fist. He was up in 7th, now down in 11th spot. Hopefully he hasn't overheated those tyres, and once they overheat, they are absolutely goosed. Unfortunately, Alpha no grip whatsoever. Now he's got Monster, who right on his tail. Monster can be patient.
Definitely helping Lost Infinity there. Still in half a second of the cars in front, so hopefully he should stay there and still get his DRS by the time we get to the start-finish straight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what those guys do. There's 3 seconds from Avanash up to Ty Clear in that group in front, and look at that. Monster going on the outside at 130 yard, makes the move. Wow! And Lost Infinity makes the move as well.
I don't know he's managed to get that car stop there on those hards.
I can't believe he had the grip through there as well. Those sausage are not working at all, and that gap now at the front. Wow, that's grown. That is now 2.1 seconds, and then Fabian goes wide. He's got Mudsnuts and single track for company.
I mean, those softs definitely aren't working. Smith 1.5 seconds behind Wookie.
I personally, on my opinion, I don't like using softer compound at the start of a race unless there's going to be an imminent threat of rain within 10 minutes. I don't like them because I think with heavy fuel, they don't offer the same grip or the same outright performance as they do on lighter fuel. And that's me personally. I just don't think they work.
Yeah, I totally agree. And some of these tracks, they just wear out so quickly, it's just not worth it, strategy-wise.
Yeah, if you don't get an early safety car and then it just... Fabian again, he's not happy this evening. I wonder if that man is using kind of a time trial setup and the heavy fuel is not working. Really twitching out of Spoon, and Martin and I both know exactly what that's like to, well, not hold on to it and end your race there. But 3.2 airways absolutely disappearing. Mark said in the chat that he's mega quick and consistent. You're right there. He is.
Feels a bit sorry for Mudsnuts. He's under mega pressure there from Martin and Connor and the Astons.
Yeah. And to be fair, Martin is the best friends of the world, not the person you want to be pressuring you. Because he is mighty quick. And if he sees a gap, he will have a go. But being very patient.
Everyone seems to have settled down onto a bit of a rhythm up and down the grids.
Yeah.
I think it's actually our closest battle now. It's just the battle for third.
Yeah, it is. And I tell you what, Monster's got past Avinash. That gap's come down. It was over 3 seconds, 2.6 now. Monster, bit of clear. Lost Infinity and Fortune dropped off the back with Jimu, and there's a few gaps further down. Baby Hornet on the back of Wee Willie Winkle. That'll be an interesting one. You've not been on board with him.
I'm watching it now. Oh, the inside of Winky. I know they're in a party together, so.
Oh, are they?
That's definitely coordinated.
Well, it looks like. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to come back and watch this as well. Winky, wow, side by side. Near enough as well. Lost Infinity's the first man to get a 3-second time penalty. Those hards not working out for him either. As Winky goes wide at the end of the Spoon. Going to allow Hornet to get away. But at the front, that gap, Mudsnuts is probably going to be under pressure. He is under pressure, and there comes Martin. Didn't have the DRS, and the Aston Martin breezes through down the pit straight. Played the patient long game there, did single track, and worked out well.
Can Aston Martin's Lance Stroll here, also known as Connor. Con Stroll.
I can't do a Canadian accent, so I'm not even going to go down there. Of even anything that, I mean, his steering wheel's still in place, so he hasn't thrown that yet.
Yet, there is always time.
That is true.
We have another 21 laps for that to happen.
Well, he does have a wheel setup, doesn't he, does Connor? I don't think he uses it, but he said he has one.
Yeah, as far as I know, he still uses pads, so.
Yeah, so he had a wheel though. Winky needs braces to hold his trousers down instead of the usual holding them up. Well,
I think every can to protect those Lucky Charms.
I was going to say the less said about that one, the better. Connor, right on the back of Mudsnuts, has to lift off the throttle a number of times because of this slipstream effect. Was on the grass as well under braking. That's really, really cost him. And now he's got Wookie for company. He's gone from the attacker to the defender, and he's flashing like a madman. I'm not even going to say what he's done. Smith's pitted already.
He's really going to struggle now. He's only got 2% ERS.
And that's allowed the Alpine to try the inside of turn 1 and turn 2. Just enough space given, and Wookie gets it done. So that little bit of braking on the grass from Connor. I'm surprised he's used as much ERS as he has done. To be fair, he was in the DRS train, in the slipstream, and he's used quite well all of it.
Yeah, all the people around him have still got like 40, 50%.
Yeah.
TY clear behind is another one that's like 8% left.
That explains the gap with Biff and Monster closing down. Monster's really closed that gap. Man on a mission. He had glimpses of pace earlier as well on Monday night, and he's now got the gap to about a second. So that's going to be an interesting one. Avanash has clung to the back of him as well, which is good to see. Of course, Tier 4 champion last time. They've really dropped JMO now. Smith's come out. That shows either how long the pit lane is, or how fast that last sector is. That Smith was up in about 7th, 8th, and he's now dropped to 19th after his early pit stop. Wookie now. Wow, on a chat. What a move! So he could have been a little bit late into 130. Yeah, Wookie is a man possessed.
Just watching the fight at the back between Smith and Smoggy and Toxo.
Well, that'll be a good battle. What's Nuts going back? Oh, and he does, and gets Wookie with the DRS. Up back to 4th for the dogs hoo-ha. I don't say the rest, it's a bit too early in the evening. Biff and JMO pitted early.
Biff gone for the hard, so I wonder if he's going to try and get to the end, but be a long old stint there.
It will. Good point. So let's have a look at those tyres now. JMO's gone for the mediums. Who have we seen pit early? Shaver. Gillette has had to pit early. He's a little bit drifting off the back at the moment in his own little race, but he'll soon be battling with Winky, who comes out of the pits and puts the
nuts
on. Oh, he has. Yeah, sorry, I missed that completely. And I'm watching this Avanash battle, the back at Monster. Little one catching, and now Ty Clear's 3.5 seconds ahead. They'll be doing the best to close that one down. Connor's just, from losing all of his ARS, is just managing to keep up with these two as they're battling. Ty Clear's looking interested as well. Single track, 6/10 off Fabian, who's now 4.2, the gap to Airways, out in front.
He's bringing that gap down steadily. It was at 4.5 a couple of seconds ago.
Yeah, just ebb and flow, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah, ebb and flow. Look at this. This is going to be. Oh, look at this! Trying to get the slipstream. They all got the DRS. Mudsnuts is looked on the inside of Wookie. Is there going to be contact nearly? I think there might have been. Mudsnuts back down, but that's not allowed Connor to try around the outside. Can't make the move.
Just seen Aldrich Fabian also got a penalty for track limits there.
Oh, that's wow. That's really going to hurt. Single track's dropped off the back of this. DRS. I wonder if he went wide and somewhere, and it's made single track back off. I mean, it hasn't now. He's now 6/10 of a second behind. But this gap now, tight clear after these guys battling right on the back in the DRS.
And there's just a bit of a battle between Fabian and Martin as well. It could help the chasing pack behind catch up a little bit.
Yeah, the gap only 2 seconds, so not a million miles away. Smoggy Ghost hasn't pitted yet, and Tox hasn't pitted yet in the outer reaches so far. It went on the soft tyre, which is, as you mentioned earlier, hasn't really worked for the drivers who started on them. There was a lot of drivers and they've all pitted.
Smith's made quite a lot of progress, to be fair, up to 14th since he pitted for those mediums.
Yeah, he is. They are a good race tyre, the mediums. They are until you get to, I can't remember how far the last now, about 15 laps. Oh, look at this, Connor on the exit of the final corner. Got a better drive. He's going to have the DRS. But so is Mudsnuts, and they're side by side. Mudsnuts using a bit more of his overtake. Connor's on the inside of the turn one. Mudsnuts has to give room, and Connor gets the position. Good battling.
It's nice and clean, but obviously everybody around Connor's still got more ERS than him, so he's going to have to go on the defensive now. He's got nobody in front to really give him the ERS, and they can stay with Wookie there.
Luckily for him, Mudsnuts about 7/10 off, so not close enough to kind of make a move into the Degners or potentially into the chicane, so hopefully he can kind of save a little bit under braking and close that gap to Wookie.
Smoggy Ghost comes in to get rid of those softs as well.
Yeah, 9 laps on. That's a good stint in fairness on them.
And still out on those softs though. They've definitely got to be getting towards the end of the life now.
Yeah, definitely. There must be, I think, 9, 10 laps maximum they would do at a push. And I think a couple of Tier 1 boys tried it on Monday around 16 laps 17. And they started to really, really fade towards the end. And that's obviously on less fuel towards the end of the race. So he probably is going to struggle. I think you're right with that. I think the mediums will start to just slide a little bit more as we get to the 10th lap that they've been on them. As Ty Clear's actually decided he's had enough. He's the first to pit.
He was trying to go for the undercut, but I still think it's pretty early for the mediums.
Yeah, I think he's gone for another set of mediums, so he's gone for a 2-stop, chancing a late safety car. That's brave. Has he definitely gone onto those medium tyres? I need to have a look.
Go down and check.
Yeah. And it won't let me change the camera, which is...
Yeah, I'm literally just trying that as well.
Yeah, he's back on the mediums. I thought if he was going to try that early, go the hards, and they would go to the end. Connor's got a bit of a gap now. Mudsnuts has made a few errors, and he's dropped a lot, but so's Connor. So those gaps that were really close, really opening up now as those tyres begin to wear. And you just see who can manage them the best, and it seems to be at the minute. Single track can keep within DRS and in the dirty air of Fabian. And that gap's stabilised as well.
Message from the new race engineer that says the tyre's going to start losing grip soon because they just seem to fall off a cliff.
Yeah, they seem to have lost grip about 2 laps earlier. And then decides, oh no, they're not working. Like, thanks. That gap, yeah, is stuck as well. It's now 4.1. Good evening, O'Joni. Lovely to have you with you, my friend. Yeah, it was very good battles early on. Now, single track's decided to pit. Maybe he's going for the undercut. It'd be interesting to see what he puts on. Wookie follows him in. Connor stays out an extra lap. Well, probably because his teammate's gone in, so thinks he might be a bit too close.
Just went on board with Baby Hornet as he was getting close to TY clear, and he, of course, he made a mistake, so... Standard racing there from the worst of the 2 Hornets.
You just can't help it, can you?
No.
For those of you unfamiliar with us and unfamiliar with MRC, this is in jest. This honestly really is. We actually know each other, so don't worry. We're not actually having a go at other drivers. We're not wishing ill on other drivers. I just thought I'd point that out.
Is this like our version of other brands are available?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. No, there's no other leagues available. This is the only one. The only one worth watching on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday night, anyway.
You know it.
Certainly is.
Especially when that rain comes out.
Oh yes, then it gets very, very exciting. Looking at Sambal battling with Gillette, or Wilkinson Sword. I'm sure at some point...
are available.
What Tesco's on?
There's nothing wrong with a bit of Tesco 2 stripes.
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to think which one of those. I'm sure at some point either the Williams or McLaren were actually sponsored by a shaving company. I'm really sure they were, and for the life of me I can't remember who it was. I know Shure sponsored Williams.
Yeah.
But I'm really trying to think. I'm sure there was another company, and well, to be fair, didn't Gillette sort of sponsor Williams briefly? I'm sure they did actually. Now I said it.
I think everybody sponsored Williams at some point, and then
that is very
gave
true.
up.
That is very true. Yeah. Wow, what a move. Sambal pulls out to go in side by side at 130 yard. They both leave enough room. Gillette just about keeps ahead. Oh, that was a bit tasty towards the end there. So a few of the drivers at the front have now decided to pit. Connor's come out and struggling. Unfortunately, he's got obviously Danny, who hasn't pitted. TY Clear, I know he's gone to the mediums, but wow, Sambal got the run. Outside the last corner. Gets the move on.
Martin's already got his hearts fired up and all over the back of Lost Infinity.
Yeah, I think that won't.
Looking up on the outside into Spoon, and he's managed to make it stick.
I think Lost Infinity
backed out there.
I think he did. You're right there. Yeah. So how quick he was coming ahead, and now he's got Wookie for company. Wookie's closed that gap through the pit stop phase a lot to Martin.
It's going to be pretty close for when Airways and Aldrich started.
Oh, Mud's nuts. He was in the battle with Wookie and Ty Clear and Connor. I think Connor's lost out somehow. I don't think he got the hards fired up. He's stuck behind Danny. Ty Clear, of course, does have to pit again. But he's dropped quite a bit of time now. And Mud's nuts is really going to hurt that 5-second penalty as well to be added at the end of the race, unless he pits again.
Oh, he balls that up, didn't he?
Yeah, his dinner's outside.
We got Martin closing this gap down ever so slightly towards Fabian and the two front runners. Could he actually push it to get close enough so he could have actually pulled off the undercut here?
I think he may do to Fabian. Obviously his tyres are going to be a lot less than that. I wonder if the top two are going to try to eke that out. Wow, it's Ty Clear tried to go the wrong, well, I said the wrong way. It turned out to be the wrong way, but the long way around the hairpin. Didn't quite work around Lost Infinity. I think he might be, but the top two could potentially go to the soft tyres towards the end. If they can eke them out, maybe another 2 laps, potentially.
They've done well to take those mediums, 14 laps at the minute.
I think they'll do 16, but they don't feel good about this point. They do not feel nice at all. This is about the stage where all went wrong for me on the mediums. Oh, Lost Infinity, very, very squiggly outside of the final chicane, and that's easy for Ty Clear. Gets the DRS, gets the drive, and gets the position up into 5th to chase down Wookie and Single Track, who's, wow, they are very, very close now. And you're right, Wookie really got the fight, and you're right about the gap. It was 19, now only 18.2 seconds. So that gap is definitely coming down, and I think Airways, Mark Dennison mentioned earlier that he's very consistent, and he has been so far. That gap, he was balanced about 4 seconds, 4.3, and now it's just eked it out. Maybe managed to just tyres that little bit more, and that gap's increased now to 6.2. So
it would be
looking
good if we
good.
actually see what people's tyre wears were from our point of view, but we just have to guess.
I would love to see that. I know occasionally it's happened once or twice in about 100 races.
Where it just randomly pops up and
estimates
tyre wear.
It's brilliant when it comes up. It's fantastic. But to be fair, we never normally get it in live F1 streams either. But I'd love to see it. It's such a good tool to help with you're looking at battles. But that's also why we stopped using the telemetry data and having that on screen, because it was useful. Oh, Smoggy goes retired. Where's that? There's a safety car! Oh, the top two have passed, but they've passed the safety car more importantly for those guys. And it's a cheap pit stop. As it turns out, Connor's taking the opportunity to pit. Ty Clear didn't pit. I'm surprised Ty Clear didn't pit, actually.
I think Smoggy Ghost lost it on the left-hander uphill in Sector 1.
Ooh, through Dunlop.
That's from what I saw on the map before his dot disappeared. Could have been wrong, but...
Yeah. Ooh, hey, tell you what, Ty Clear nearly had a good wheel banging with the safety car there as well. That was a little bit close.
Massively lost out with his Delta gap to where he's up to 10 seconds now.
Oh, he has, hasn't he? Yeah, really been cautious with it. Connor's decided to pit. He's gone for another set of mediums. Connor could be in a good place with that.
Obviously, he was not a fan of the hards, which weren't working for him, so...
Yeah, he showed good pace early on as well. So. Yeah, he showed good pace as well, didn't he, early on? Let's have a look at the YouTube chat. Mr. Simba is very active, as usual, as he's patrolling around the plains. And he said that you could do 17 to 18 on mediums, just depends on how careful you are. In my terms, not. Everyone should pit for softs. Interesting. Yeah, fair, which is what we was, to be fair, what we said a couple of minutes ago, didn't we? That you could potentially get them about those 10 laps. Good evening,
it would have been a good time
Mandy.
for it. You could have had 2 nice, easy laps on the softs behind the safety car and then push for 8 laps.
Which the top 2 have done. Gone for those soft tyres next to follow suit. Single track pits as well. Be interested to see what he does. Wookie stays out on the hards. He's gone for track position. Technically, it does now pit. He's going to go for the softs as well. Single track, soft tyres.
Everybody's just jumping the hards now.
Yeah. JMO's got a drive through for speeding under the safety car. Monsters pitted, Mudnodes, Avanash. Connor's already pitted for mediums, which I think a lap ago was the right call.
I think he's going to make up some places here.
Yeah, Mudnode 7 is 5 seconds as well. But Connor
up to 6 there.
And in fairness, the mediums aren't a bad tyre at all to use in the race. Oh, obviously Danny. Tell you what, obviously Danny, for a quali ban, he decided to stick out on the hard tyres as well, up into 7th.
Yes. I was hoping to see those Inters make an appearance in the race, but it's doing well.
In fairness, the first thing you said as soon as we came, even before on air, said, "Oh, then how are you doing? What do you think about tonight?" You said, "Yeah, you want red." It was pretty much your first comment, in fairness.
Rain makes everything interesting.
Yeah, especially when it starts going to inters, dry to inters, especially the way that everyone's set up. Yeah, it really, really can. It's really interesting.
Just coming out the pits now. If he's just got a speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, not going well. Winky, not going well for him. Baby Hornet decided he's going to stay on the hard tyres as well. He's not going to pit again.
Yeah, probably need a front wing at some point. I hope he's listening as well.
Oh, he'll be absolutely seething.
I told him I was going to try and curse him before we started this.
I mean, he is a little bit posh as well, so be like, "Oh no, how dare you? Do not say things like that."
Yeah, he's our little choir boy.
He certainly always will be.
Well,
unless he decides to sing it to
us. Looking at a dive in the pits there, but just getting really close to the pit wall instead.
Who's that, sorry?
RFC Danny.
I mean, this is going to be an interesting one now. For the next, well, there's drivers still in Sector 2. So it'll be interesting to see if they catch up towards the end of the safety car this lap, or we have another one. But we've got, fresh softs top 2, fresh soft for single track and tyre clear. Wookiees decide to stay out on the hards, which are used. Connor on the mediums, good race tyre, very consistent. Might be interesting to see what he can do towards the end of the last couple of laps. Danny stayed out, Monster pitted. Then we've got a mix of medium tyre runners and different ages. It's going to be an interesting end to see who can get the tyres fired up, who can save the tyres, and who's just going to have that overall grip.
As much as it pains me to say, I think actually Lance Stroll might be in the best place here for the end of the race.
Yeah, he could be. Those mediums, he's not done any hard laps on them yet. He was one of the first 2 pit. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one, that.
It's definitely going to be a tough call, especially for all these softs, for how much they can take care of through the racing laps.
It's how much you can... Well, I mean, Lance Stroll doing a bit of grass cutting as well under safety cars, not going to help him. And yes, we saw that.
Con grass cutting.
That's the one. Yeah, other lawnmowers are available. But
That's
who
it.
can
Stop calling him Flymo or something. I think we might get another lap here. Gillette's still 6 seconds off the pack.
Yeah, we're going to get one more lap, which helps those soft tyre runners a lot more. Because they just need to, well, kind of do the Kimi, what we've mentioned earlier, the Kimi Raikkonen school of warming your tyres. And not take too much life out of them, not put too much steering input in, not put too much throttle input in, upshift early to stop them spinning, and just ease the heat back into them towards that end of the middle sector, you would say, towards like through Spoon and before the safety car decides it's going to come in, usually in the last sector, 130R.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely need to start warming up those tyres on the run down to Spoon. Obviously try and keep your tyres nice and warm down the run to 130R. I think mainly the one that people forget is always trying to like keep a bit of heat in your brakes as well. So when you make it to the first turn, that's meant you to take a stab at that pedal. It's not going to work as well as you want.
100%, you're very right there. Yeah, people do forget about that. And I mean, you mentioned some people using the esports warm up of a little bit of brake and plenty of throttle. It's going to be interesting to see who manages to do that, who adopts that strategy. Doris, good evening. Dora the Explorer. He said he did say earlier he was looking at supporting the safety car. But fair enough. Must be another Aston Martin fan. How many seconds does Aldrich Fabian have? Let's have a quick look at those penalties. 5 seconds for Antox Jimmy with a drive-through, unfortunately, for speeding under the safety car, lost infinity, and Aldrich Fabian the only 2 with 3-second penalties. So not many this evening, which is good to see. I'm going to keep those tyres up on screen. I like to get rid of them, but I'm going to keep them up because it's going to be a good reminder.
Wonder when J-Mo's going to serve that drive-through as well.
Yeah, you can't serve it on the lap that the safety car goes in. It doesn't let you. I've tried. You have to do it the lap after. I thought I was going to be smart and get it over with, and then I ended up doing an extra pit stop that I didn't need.
It's frustrating when you go in for the drive-through and the game just decides to pit you anyway. You're like, no!
Yeah, exactly. So there's safety car in this lap. I think, Mark Dennison, you're right. Wookie's going to regret staying on the hard tyres. He could do, but we're going to have 8 racing laps to see exactly if you're going to regret it.
I think Wookie's going to have a hard restart here, especially with Martin and Ty Clear on fresh softs behind him.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very racy now. When does Airways go? He goes right out of the final Casio triangle. Gets a good little run on Fabian. All well and good. The gap from Aldrich Fabian to Wookie with Martin behind him, and everyone seems to be all very well behaved, must admit. Aldrich Fabian a lot better on the brakes though through turn 2 and right back on the rear wing of Airways, the closest he's been all race.
Wow, this is good. It was brave how close he was getting there, definitely to lift off.
He did, didn't he? It was a bit scary. So there, and we've got, I'll tell you what, finally, Codemasters gave us a fantastic view, and we had full front wing footage through the S's. On board. Oh, Wookie's gone wide, and that's allowed single track, an easy overtake a lot earlier and a lot easier than I think he was probably going to expect as well. And he's outbroken himself, and Ty Clear goes through.
Those hards have definitely not fired up on this restart for Wookie there.
No, certainly haven't. You're definitely right there. At least he go to the end. Now he's got Connor behind him. That's going to be an interesting one. Connor on the mediums will still, they take a little bit of getting used to as well, getting those heat in. Maybe about a lap.
Just making a new track layout there through Spoon.
Trying to curse him as well.
You know me, really good at making friends throughout this league.
Absolutely zero comments. Oh, look at that, the tackling. What was that? The tackling. That's Wookie. I think he... what on earth happened there? Wookie, I think, completely, missed his braking. He hit Ty Clear. Luckily he got away with it. He got 3-second penalty. Connor's made his way through. RC Danny's made his way through. And there's a monster as well on the inside. It makes its way through.
riding on board with Ty clear there. Can't see any damage to his front wing, so I think he might have survived that little coming together.
That's just as well, I think, because he was right on the back of Single Track, who's dropped off the back, actually, of the top two. Only 2 second that gap, but Ty Clear has now dropped to 1.5 seconds due to the little incident.
Connor's doing his best here to stay with the back of TY Clear. It's just a shame on such like a long track there's only one DRS zone.
Yeah, you feel like there should be more. Even this run here through from the hairpin through to Spoon could potentially make a DRS zone out, because you have to actually brake for Spoon, so that automatically closes the DRS. So you kind of think that would not be the worst place for it.
Well, I kind of think seem to be throwing them out in Australia, but well, the older tracks just don't ever seem to have any extra DRS zones.
Yeah, that one could be one. I still think that 130R, because you're flat out through 130R, is terrifying.
I think it should just be like how big are your stones, to see whether you can keep it flat out through 130R with your wing open.
That would be very interesting, is the term I'm going to use in terms of democracy. But I think it would be, being impartial, would be very interesting. It would be difficult. Going back to these gaps, Ty Clear's dropped off another second to the back of Single Track, so I wonder if he's got damage that we can't see. But Connor's dropped as well. Connor's 2 seconds off the back, which... Oh, Danny's got 3 seconds. But that you kind of half sort of expect. Because, well, look at that monster. Got the run out of deck. Now he's trying to go on the outside into the hairpin. Is he going to try the switch back? Takes the wide line. Danny defends extremely well. And gets the run as well. Great defending.
For those hards.
That was fantastic. Great traction.
Wookie's under attack now from Avanash on those older hards, though.
Oh yeah, Wookie is. But Wookie's now he's kind of got the hards working and is stable a bit. Is keeping with them all. Keeping with Avanash. Much Nuts is still in there. So is Biff as well. Smith, that early pit stop has really hampered him this race. Hampered his progression right forwards. Of course, he started, I think there was 7th and 8th were the Ferraris. And only one in the top 10. And there is Avanash himself. The man he's going through and taking the position from Wookie. Just seems to have such great a straight line speed. And up ahead, got Andrew on the back of Danny, who's on the back of Connor as well. Is really struggling as Connor on those mediums. Not seem to get them working.
Yeah, it's late race pace has definitely been a bit lacking compared to how fast he was at the start.
Yeah, a lap or two ago you kind of expect it, the softs have got the more life into them. But it's just not clicked. I don't know if it's the fuel level or if he's had a bit of a knock somewhere at all, or not sure. When you think, if you have used mediums, they don't do the heat cycles at all. Oh, Samball's retired. Samball's gone into another safety car. Oh, who's going to pit? Will anybody pit?
Samo went at the first stag now.
I suppose if you do take it a bit too much, even if you go wide, you're in for a world of pain.
J-Mo with another drive-through penalty.
Oh no.
Absolutely.
There is a delta. Tonight. He needs to learn the delta. Oh, so unlucky.
And if Connor or anybody that isn't on softs is going to pit for softs.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, the leader does. Both of them do. The top two, Aldrich Fabian, has managed to somehow, braking for the pits, has managed to jump. I think the race leader Airways, Single Track's pitted as well for fresh. He has got fresh tyres as well.
RFC Danny staying out on those hards. That's a brave move for a late safety car.
It is. Mudsnuts, Biff, Smith, stayed out. Fabian did. I saw it as he came into the pits. Fabian somehow managed, as they were braking for the pit marker, to overtake Airways. Oh, Shaver, 5 seconds as well for speeding in the pit lane.
It's definitely one way to be the last of the late breakers into the pit lane if you're going to get away with it.
I have no idea how he did it. I mean, I wonder, and it's not taken away from people who do use it and people who don't, I wonder, because Tier 3 has the pit assist on, that it breaks for him so you can kind of go full chat into the pits. And I wonder if he did that and Airways doesn't use it. I'm sure Airways actually is 0 assists. I'm sure Simba's told me that in the past.
I tell you what, I really miss those days where you could just drive full pelt into the pits and just magically stop on the line.
They were great fun, weren't they?
You just
especially somewhere like Canada.
Anybody that's not using it.
Like somewhere like Canada.
Everyone's got like fast pit lanes. You just absolutely bomb it up to the line, like Baku.
Yeah, Baku as well. Yes. Baku, Canada. Trying to think where else was quite good for it. To be fair, even Silverstone was quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those circuits were just great. The amount of time you could gain was fantastic. And yeah, now it's only Tier 3 that allow it now, and that's a shame.
Now you just have to guess your best braking points and pray that you can slow the car down in time.
Oh, I'm so slow in the entry to pits nowadays. It's unbelievable. I think I've had 2 penalties, and one of them was Monza a few weeks ago, and that was because everybody ahead of me had braked, and there was that much locking up tyre smoke. I couldn't see the line, and I was about 1 to 2 mile an hour over, and I was so cautious. I just couldn't see anything.
To be fair, the smoke from the ABS in this game is horrible. I've just started calling it vaping now because you just can't see through it.
Yeah.
At the narrowest traction, you're just approaching the corner and somebody locks up. You've really just got to hope and pray that you can actually still see the corner.
Yeah. Again, turn 1 at Monza, prime example. The amount of people that lock up just slightly into there, they can make the corner because it's just slight. But the amount, like you said there, the smoke that comes off the tyres, you can't. The amount of times I've missed the apex is outrageous.
Hey, what? We're not going to have many laps here for everyone that's made these pit stops to actually make much progress here. We have probably 2 racing laps.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do, if they can do anything at all.
2 laps, 100% ERS, no DRS. It's going to be a fun sprint to the end.
It certainly is. Are we going to see a surprise winner to this race? Airways was leading from lights out. Aldrich Fabian stayed in second, had pressure from single track for a while before the other safety car came out. And now they find themselves in the outer reaches of the top 10. Penalties, of course.
Have thrown it all the way. Starting from down in 7th, they've got a lot of work to do.
It's going to be an interesting one, yeah, in 2 laps. Well, let's see. Winky's got a drive through as well. He is going to have to serve that on the last lap. Unfortunately, going to drop him way down, but so is Shaven, Jimo, and Antox as well. 6 seconds for Lost Infinity. 3 for Wookie, who finds himself now in 13th. 3 seconds for Fabian, who got it early on, and RFC Danny as well. So, even these positions aren't set in stone just yet.
It's going to be some fun runs tonight. I think Winky might struggle in those mediums and 10th with all the fresh softs sat behind him.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's going to be interesting to see what Fabian Airways single track can do. Like you said earlier, with the worn tyres ahead. What can Ty Clear do? 8 lap old soft tyres. What life are they going to have?
If only we could see.
I know, yeah. That would be great. So, the final safety car of this race drops, and Ty Clear gets the run from the final corner, has the grip. But I tell you what, Avanash all over the back of Danny as well. Mudstud's got caught napping. Perfect place because they still had to do the second part of the chicane, and they have really dropped. Airways has already dispatched Smith going down. Oh, there's a very wide. That's Aldrich Fabian. Lost Infinity. He's retired. I think that might have been in the pits, unfortunately for him. And there's cars all over the shop. Aldrich Fabian we saw go wide. I'm sure I saw another, maybe a Ferrari go wide. Possibly not.
We've got Airways going side by side with
Whoa, no, Ty Clear went wide up top of Dunlop, and Danny takes the lead. So Muts Nuts, who was up there earlier on, somehow this is played back into his hands, up into third again. Ty Clear Airways has beaten Biff, single tracks through Smith as well.
I think Danny's just a sitting duck here, even for the older mediums.
He may well be. Connor's now made his way through Smith as well. Those tires, the softs definitely fired up this time round. Single track, oh, Needy had a look at Biff. Biff runs wide and single track makes its way through in Spoon, and Biff's got a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Biff, and he's gone wide again. Oh, lost 2, and he's going to lose another one to position to Smith as well.
Aldrich Fabian all the way down in 16th, not quite sure what happened to him.
I think he went wide in turn 1. I think. I did see McLaren go wide, and I'm going to presume, don't know if it was, but it could be him. Oh, Muds Nuts, look at this. We've got 3 for the lead going into the final lap. Look at this. We've got RC Danny Avinash. There's going to be 3 wide down the pit straight. I daren't look. Oh, Muds Nuts backs out. Danny Avinash goes very wide. Danny retakes the lead. Avinash goes back on. Airways had to back out.
It's quite surprised to see Muttons not actually using any ERS down that straight then.
I didn't actually look at. I daren't look at that bit. I was on board. I just didn't dare look down. Look at that Airways and Avinash gone past him. Oh no! There's been a crash. Huge crash. Ty Clear's out. There was a huge crash. Oh no!
Airways is also stuck on the track there.
Yeah, he can't. I think he's got it moving. He's okay. Oh no, Airways. I think. Oh, wrong way. That's okay.
Is RC Danny going to be the one to hold on to this race lead with those 12-lap old hards here?
Yeah, 3-second penalties is unfortunately probably won't take the race win, but well, it's been a quite quiet. I say quiet, but a nice calm-ish race. And it's all just gone.
Got the run to Avinash.
He really
look
does.
The inside to 130, yeah.
And those two have history. They've known each other a long time. Avinash, of course, long-standing member of the league. A good history, I might add. Avinash does defend it very, very well, but it's going to be on track, I think, unless Muds Nuts gets the drive from the final corner, but it's a short run to the finish line. Muds Nuts take the victory on track. Danny takes it on track. Muds Nuts takes it. Avinash, then single track. Then Connor takes it. Obviously, Danny, after a 3-second penalty, finishes 5th. Smith, what a drive. Takes 6 for Monster. Wookie takes 8th. Baby Hornet, despite your best effort, has taken points in 9th. Biff will take a point as well in 10th. Aldrich Fabian, gotta feel sorry for him. Lost the front wing as well. He's in 11th. Winky and Shiver didn't take their penalties, so they've got 20 seconds added in 12th, 13th respectively. Jay Moore in 14th. Antox will finish in 15th. And a lot of what can be said is, well, potential controversy towards the end. The Haas of Airways got slightly wrong in this battle, and then Ty Clear coming through full chat up Dunlop got collected with the Haas. Both retired from the race in great positions as well, and that, what an end that was.
We did say it was going to be a crazy run to the finish line, but like we said, it was going to be some hard work for those softs, and those boys up front definitely made it hard work for them.
They did, didn't they? The tyres kind of lasted that extra little bit, didn't they? That, you know, we were unsure of what they were going to do and how long they would last.
Yeah, they did really well, to be fair. Obviously, I think the safety car periods definitely helped them conserve a bit of life in the tyres, so...
Yeah, they managed the heat cycle as well, which is always a worry personally for me as well, with the with those mediums that they don't like to cool down and warm back up again. So they did really, really well with that one. But preliminary results for everybody. Muts Nuts takes the victory, starting from 3rd on the grid. Avinash, great race from him, takes 2nd. Single track takes 3rd. 4th for the bottle job, Mr. Connor Hardy. RC Danny from the back of the grid takes 5th. Smith in 6th. Monster, great race from him as well, takes 7th. Wookie in 8th. Baby Hornets takes 9th. Then 10th for Biff. Aldrich Fabian 11th. Winky then Shaven, J Moore, and Tox, and then the people who unfortunately did not finish this race: Ty Clear, Lost Infinity, Sambal, Smoggy Ghost, and Airways. Not a good result at all for the Haas boys. Of course, see what happens with potential stewards' inquiries later this evening. Well, yeah, like I say, it was nice, calm. It was gentlemanly race, a lot of good racing there, a lot of good overtakes, a lot of space and respect given, and then the last 2 laps just
put into chaos.
I think people forgot the gentlemanly bit. I mean, it was good racing, a lot of it. To be fair, it was good racing. I think that last little bit just was. I think that Ty Clear incident was more unlucky and really bad luck than anything.
I think everybody just got really excited. It was a nice, peaceful race out, and everyone thought, you know what? We've got 2 laps left to go. It's just go crazy.
Yeah, all or nothing. And yeah, I mean, I still think it was unlucky. I don't think you can really portion blame. I think it was very, very unlucky for Ty Clear and for Airways as well. But yeah, they did not go crazy.
You know what they say?
We're having a good chat for most of it.
Flat out.
Yeah, what? Last thing to say is really, who was your driver of the day, Mr. Stubb?
You know what? I'd have to give it to RFC Danny, to be fair. He hung out on those hards when we said he made the wrong call. And apart from his time penalty, he did a really solid drive after that last safety car to stay ahead of people with the softer compounds and fresher tyres.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to agree, actually. Yeah, fully agree. With that, congratulations to Mutts Nuts and Avinash, of course, for top 2. And yeah, but I would have to say I agree with you for Danny for driver of the day. That is it for us, folks, for this evening. Join us on Friday evening, where we travel to, well, we're under the lights of Qatar on Friday for MRCX, and then we're back, of course, Monday evening, usual time, 7 p.m. for Tier 2, and then 8:45 for Tier 1 around the super fast, super dark, super bumpy, MotoGP track, you should say, of Qatar. So that'll be an interesting one. It's going to be a fun race, that one, I think. But yeah, thank you, Morgan. It's been a long time, mate, but had a great time.
Yeah, it's been fun being back.
Certainly has. I have to do it more often, but thank you very much. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for all taking part. Thank you for all in the YouTube chat. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave the like. And we will all see you very, very soon. Good night and God bless. Good night.